said Corey Holcomb says that women don't want to submit to being trained by their man, and that's why the world is in the situation that it's in. And I hear my husband say that, I hear my son say that women don't want to, what's the word he used? We don't want to obey. But are you worthy to be obeyed? Have you proven yourself to be worthy for somebody to obey you?
What in other words, what does a man have to do
to
prove himself to be worthy?
Nothing.
In a woman's opinion, what does a man have to do to be worthy?
Well, it definitely just ain't all in the bedroom. It don't mean that he can't make no mistakes, because ain't nobody out here that's never gonna make no mistakes.
So she don't want him to be perfect in every way.
Well, I mean, it's impossible. We want that, but it's impossible. We ain't even perfect. Okay. Nobody perfect.
So, but I mean, you still really ain't said what it is that a woman wants the man to do to be worthy.
So I would think that the basics of life should be taken care of. House, car, bills paid, and we don't necessarily have to go on vacation every 6 months and all that, but I shouldn't have to struggle for the basics when we are together as a couple. And we shouldn't have to keep going through the same thing over and over, because as they said, it's insanity. When are we going to check our insanity, especially if we're talking about that we God-fearing?
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. If the man is created in the image and in the likeness of God, what else does he have to do to be worthy? Being that he was the first created, he was created in the image and the likeness of God. You got to remember now, the woman supposedly was taken from the man's rib. Okay, so if she cannot be submissive to a man, she cannot be submissive to a God.
Well, he's worthy as long as he ain't busting you in your mouth and all that. He's worthy of that, definitely. And if he's a respectable and honorable man, but what about the basis of life, though?
But when
you can be a sweet angel all you want to, but we still need to eat.
Yeah,
we still need some lights in a car.
Okay, so but when he is a respectable man, and he's doing all he know how to do, and he's not doing anything to hurt you, and he's not belittling you, he's not calling you out of your name. A lot of these men out here, I don't think they even know how to talk. When they refer to a woman, they don't refer to women as being women. They refer to them as, bees, hoes, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? First of all, I wouldn't talk to a woman that way.
I'll get the gas because it takes them a little longer. How much you can put me the card?
So just go ahead on them foot.
Yeah, but we talking about this because I don't think that all the time that just because you was made in the image of God that you're honorable. Well, just because you was created by God, you can talk to them, tell them about it. Don't be talking behind my back either.
Well, just the last statement she said, just because she was created in the image of God don't mean that you respectable. No, it doesn't. But a lot of people don't believe in any God. And I find it, the longer I live, the more I understand that the average woman, not all women, I can't say all, right? Because I don't know all women. And this is worldwide. This is not just here in the Americas. This is worldwide. The average woman really doesn't like God. And it's a pattern. Because if we go back to the beginning, now there was more than one creation, by the way. So
what you say about me? Don't be talking about me.
I ain't talking about you. What you talking about?
Talk about y'all. What y'all doing?
I'm talking about the pattern of the world. So the pattern, there was a creation that was before Adam and Eve. right? However, you still had in the second creation, this man was created, it says that basically from the dust of the earth, in the image of God. And then God breathed breath into his nostrils, air, pneuma. And he was given a set of rules to follow, right? And then God said it's not good for man to be alone. And then from there, he basically puts Adam to sleep, forms a woman from his rib, right? Now, man, today as we know it, right, we are in the image and in the likeness of God. Arm, leg, arm, head. Everybody has that form, right? But you had this woman in the garden who disobeyed. She wasn't submissive to the rules. She wanted to break the rules, right? And they say that Eve is the mother of all living. Now, we always say that the apple don't fall too far from the tree. So if the woman wasn't submissive then and obedient then her children has her same DNA pattern. So this is why I'm saying that women, if they can't obey the man, they damn sure can't obey a God. They're not going to obey a God because that is the image that they don't like. But they all go to church and say, or whatever. I don't care if it's church. I don't care if it's the mosque, or whether it's Hindu or whatever they call themselves. Right? The average woman does not like the image of God and what God represents, because there's an enmity between her seed and his seed.
You head towards Chandler, and have to navigate on your phone. Where's your phone? You left it at home?
It's right here. So, and the enmity is that women cannot do what men can do. Right? They can, but at a price. They have a heavier price to do that. But she still cannot do what a man can do. No matter what they tell you, no matter what she believes, she cannot do what a man can do. And that's what the enmity is. That's why she's not submissive. It doesn't make a difference whether a man has a lot of money or not, or he don't have any money or anything like that. It doesn't make a difference, because there's that enmity that's always there. You got men that are extremely well-mannered, take care of themselves well, will take care of anybody else that come in their life very well and stuff like that. And even if he got money, she can become complacent, and then she wants to go around and jump into bed with somebody else. But I think money is a curse to a certain degree, because money is like the Ohio player says, money will literally drive some people out their minds. So some people really don't need money because they do lewd things with their money.
So
you know what I'm saying?
I'm like on the side of I want to say right, because I'm not always right and you're not always right, but all in all, if you got a man who's trying to do right by you, if you can't comply and submit to a man who's trying to do right by you, then you just need to move on. It's just best to move on.
Well, you're gonna be moving on all the time. You ain't gonna never be still. You ain't gonna never be settled.
Well, because if you're unhappy and you're not content in the relationship because you haven't got your spiritual self together, and you're hindering the family and finances, all that, because you all jumbled in the brain, you know, as y'all say that we're not trained. Women aren't trained to be wives. We're not, and like I said, men aren't trained to be fathers. They're not trained to be financial heads. They're not trained either.
Well,
ain't nobody took us when we was 10 years old and said, this is how you write a check, and we just didn't have it.
Well,
we just didn't have it.
You talking about in the modern day. In the modern day, this is what has happened to us. But before the European invasion, we was doing just fine. Think about it. You know, less than 100 years ago. Yeah.
The volume is doing. I didn't check it.
I don't know why it's so loud. Less than 100 years ago, America, not the United States, America was one of the top educated countries in the world and beyond. But once the European culture took over, we're now at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? We're at the bottom now because we allow another people to come over and take over our education system. Right? And so they're not, before then, think about it, if we go back in history, how did
I don't know what the volume is.
Yeah, how did the Asiatic man and woman in America, or should I say the Afro-Asiatic man and woman in America, how did we fare out in relationships? I can guarantee you it was a whole lot better. Did we have some problems? Yes. You know, we're going to always have those problems. But I can guarantee you from, you know, just doing, you know, some historical research and stuff like that, that women were a lot more submissive back then. And don't say, oh, well, because, you know, they had to be submissive because, you know, they didn't have no jobs and they wasn't allowed to be in the workforce and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? That's all garbage.
It might have something to do with it. Wait, I wonder, see if you know what this means. Have you heard Jill Scott said something on the Breakfast Club to a man?
Okay.
It says, if you can tell me what to do, then you can tell me what to do. Now, if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do.
Okay.
Do you know what that means?
If you can tell me what to do.
You can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, then you can't tell me what to do.
That means that I'm not going to be submissive. That's what that means.
No.
That means that if you don't have the power,
that's exactly.
Right, which means, well, she's equating that to money.
You always go back to money.
Well, what do women listen to? Do they listen to men without money?
Yeah.
They do?
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Plenty of women stand by their man when he ain't got no lot of money.
All right. Okay, so if she does.
Come on, Jill.
If she does that, right? And she's submissive to a man without no money. Okay. So what's wrong with Jill Scott?
I don't know her personally. I don't know her life.
Well, don't Jill Scott got money?
Yeah, she got money.
So she needs somebody who makes more money than her, pretty much. Because otherwise, you can't tell her what to do. That's what it sounds like to me. Now, I could be wrong. But it sounds like to me that she's saying that, hey, look, if you're not making more money than me, or you ain't got what I got, you can't tell me what to do.
I don't really agree that that's what that means.
What does it mean?
What I think it means is, if you're capable of telling somebody what to do, then you should have like a repertoire or a reputation that would allow you to do that.
Okay.
Like, what is your past history on managing finances? What's your past history within our relationship?
You just went to money.
What is your past history on raising children? So if you can tell them what to do, if you can tell us what to do, then you can tell us what to do. But if you can't tell us what to do, then you can't tell us what to do.
You just went to money.
It wasn't all about money. I said, if you can raise the children, if you can take care of us, I don't know what I said.
What men? Okay, I know men that do that all the time, and the women still don't obey them.
But the thing is,
what
I'm trying to say is that I think it is biblical, which I don't know where it says this in the Bible, but I've heard it a lot, that if a woman is not in her place, then the nation is not in her place, and whatever that means and however it's quoted.
Okay.
So then, but what responsibility do you guys have? Oh, you just keep saying that God placed you as a man and you're in charge, but you don't be knowing what you're doing.
No.
In general, men don't be knowing what they're doing.
No, that's not true. There's plenty of men that know what they're doing. All right. Just that men that have access. First of all, let's say that. Let's strip away all the money. We have no money. Nobody has any money. I'm talking the world, right? All we have is, we don't even have the technology. We have nothing, right? What then? There's men and women still on the planet, okay? So what now? Now we don't have any wealth. All our technology is stripped away and stuff like that. The question now is, who are you?
Wow. Okay.
Who would you be then?
You ain't got to worry about what kind of clothes you're going to wear. You're just going to wash what you have and present yourself the best you can. You'll get in there and cook whatever you got.
Everybody's on the same playing field. The playing field has been leveled out now. There's no rich people. There's no poor people. We're just existing.
I don't have the answer to that one.
Now, who's going to take care of the family now? What are the women going to do, and what are the men going to do?
I don't have the answer to that one at
all. All right. So, will the women be obedient to the men if there's nothing at all?
You already said that they don't even want to be obedient to God. So let me shift gears on what I had a conversation with you about people saying that I teach hate. I teach the grandchildren hate. And we know what hate means, right? Hate is it's very close to love, right? It's very strong. It's a very strong emotion. Probably one of the strongest. So that means that, for example, if I say, I would prefer that you play around and play with things, toys, dolls, images that look like you. It doesn't mean that you can't play with other races, things like Chinese, white, Mexican dolls. You can't. I'm not saying you can't, but you should be more driven. Your first love should be for something that is in the image of you. And we all know these dolls ain't really even made in the image of black women. They have the straight noses and they got the fake hair on. It's a few of them out there that's made with our features. But do we teach hate? Do we teach our grandchildren to hate? Of course not.
No.
Why would I do that? Like, I don't think the world is out to get them, but there's some of them that are.
Well,
I don't think everybody out there is aiming bad for our grandchildren, but some of them are. And they don't need to hate everybody because that's too much energy to exert. I don't teach them to love everybody either.
Well,
you treat somebody according to how they treat you, according to their character. Didn't Dr. King say you judge a person by the content of their character?
Yeah.
Like teach a child to hate. That's ridiculous.
Well, the first law of any nation is self-preservation, which means that if you're going to preserve yourself and in your progeny, that means to have self-love. You know what I mean? For the image that you are. There was no mistakes when you was born. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have all these mixtures in the beginning. And people can say whatever they want to say. They can say, oh, that's not true or anything like that. Hey, look, believe what you want to believe, right? But do a little bit more research. There was a reason why it said that Noah found grace in the eyes of God because he didn't mix seed. You know what I'm saying? And so when we begin to do all this mixing and stuff like that, swirling the blood up, then we have all the, we're going to have problems anyway. Well, what I mean, but what I'm saying is when we started swirling up all the blood, mixing up all the blood, right, and the nationalities, things got worse.
You remember that? Was it in the 60s when one of those, they did the doll test?
Yeah.
So I think it was in the 60s. So if it's not significant what race the doll is, if that's not significant, why they did the study, and why were black children choosing white dolls if that's not significant?
Well, because of the mind bugs that they wanted to put into our children. You know what I'm saying?
So what?
That dark is bad. You think about it. White is pure. Pure means God, right? And God is the ruler of the land. So you start out with that concept, white. What the heck is this thing doing?
Follow the navigation.
So anyways.
No, I wanted to talk about what people are accusing me of and saying that I teach them to hate.
Well,
so
they can't prove that.
I wanted to have the grandchildren present, but they're not here, so
they can't prove that because, first of all, I like the image that I was born in.
I can't say that I always have, though.
I ain't never had any problem with the image that I was born in.
When I was younger, I used to always want to be something other than what I am. Most of my friends were not black. The black culture, black girls and women they still don't really take up with me. So, what do you do? But of course you don't get to be old and still trying to be something that you ain't. If you hear something wrong with you.
Well, that's what I mean. See, I've never had that problem. I've always loved what I am. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody has a problem with that, too bad. I don't care what they think. You know what I'm saying? So, I never wanted a white woman or any other woman because that's not what my mother is.
So now you're teaching hate. That's what everybody will say. We're teaching hate now.
No, I'm talking about.
To love who you are and love how God made you is to hate somebody else.
I'm talking about the law of nations. The first law of any nation is self-preservation.